Romhack races? Somewhere here? Romhack races, week 131. Leveled by Orka, White Lodge. I don't know if I've played this one before. Actually, I'm pretty sure I haven't, based upon my documentation. We'll see. But we'll give it a shot. We have the time. And thank you for racing. Good luck. Some people cleared this in like 6 minutes, so it can't be that bad, right? Everyone cuts the toes off the Yoshi from it? Of course they do. You have to. Yoshi toes are the most delectable part of the Yoshi, as everyone knows. It's like the legs on a frog. Fourth. I'm still, like, thinking about that. Just waking up. Today is white day with a tint of gray. We're making lousy weather for the last few days. I was making soup yesterday. It started raining hardcore, and since I was, like, cooking some bacon in the oven, I was worried that the bacon had suddenly exploded or something. But no, it was just pouring fucking rain. That part's gonna be hard for me. Put a single and double line Yoshi paw in your bingo rigging level for completeness. I appreciate such things. Your local game score didn't have Epic Bird Lord. Huh. Epic Bird Lord. What kind of game is that? Epic Bird Lord. Epic Bird Lawyer? Like Harvey Birdman, attorney at law? I got distracted. Kind of hungry, too. I had a non-trivial amount of soup, but it was soup. So... a magic card? Ah, okay. I assumed it was like a whole game. Like, it was just a game called Epic Bird Lord, where you need to be, like, the best bird lord of all time, or something. I hadn't really thought my statement through. Your local game store has a good collection of cards. Nice. Okay. Alright, so that's where it needs to go. I need to grab it and move along, I guess. I don't know what it wants from me. Well, clearly I don't want to hit it there, in retrospect. Oh, it's not even the real name of the... I assume that was the actual name of the card. I mean, with Magic the Gathering doing all sorts of, like... I don't know... wacky cross-pollination stuff... I just assumed that Epic Bird Lord was like a thing. Like, you could have a deck that has Doctor Who, My Little Pony, and Sherlock in it all at once to fulfill your Tumblr circa, like, 19 or 2000, what, 15-ish, 12-ish desires. Let's make the game Epic Bird Lord. I am all in favor. I am all in favor. Many of the upcoming Avatar Last Airbender cards are literally screenshots in the show. That is lame. Slap a dozen Sid, Timeless Artificer. Why not? Throw in the Suplex a Train. Like, I'm certain this prints money for Magic, but, like, Magic used to have its own, like, lore and aesthetic to it. Kind of like League used to have, and then they decided to throw out that old lore and get rid of it. But what's a summoner? Why do we call them summoners? What's really going on in the League of Legends? All of those questions used to have answers, and now they don't. Few cases, the cards have identical art to other cards, games that are Nickelodeon licensed Avatar. Yeah, it is just kind of lazy. Like, honestly, it wouldn't be that hard to find, like, 2 or 3 fan artists who'd be that excited about getting to work on an official Avatar thing, and then hopefully pay them. But alas, that's not the way of the world these days. It would just have been AI garbage anyway. Sid have this text. A deck can have any number of cards named Sid, Timeless Artifactor, is a legendary card. Interesting. Bonus sheet stuff, seems so rushed. Goes to this one. I don't know what a bonus sheet is so far. Oh. I need to be so much faster there. Reprints. Legendary means you have 1 copy and play at a time. Ah, okay. Or does it? Okay. I understand now, I think. I feel like I'm doing something too slow. Possibly everything. Well, that didn't help. If you have all 12 SIDs, you can't play more than one of them. Gotcha. Are all the SIDs different? Because, like, Final Fantasy VIII SID is definitely lamer than most other SIDs. That's really it. Like, Final Fantasy VIII SID is probably the lamest of all the SIDs. Thanks for good luck. How you doing, Random Type? All SID, same effect, just different art. Oh, lame. Lame. Like, Final Fantasy VII SID is probably the best one after TG SID, if you're gonna put a SID ranking in. Eight would be on the bottom. So would 9. He, like, turned into a... What the hell was he? An Oogloop, I think? I don't remember if he ever became real again. Was there even a SID in 10? I don't remember. Yeah, I need to throw that. Well, everyone loves Final Fantasy VII Sid, because he's awesome. Like, quite literally, one of his limit breaks is he grabs a piece of dynamite, lights it with his cigarette, and throws it. Okay, that's closer I need to do. There's almost always a Sid. Final Fantasy I did not, in fact, have a Sid. The 2 had a Sid. I don't remember what he did. 3 had a Sid. He gets you an airship. 4 is a playable character and gets you an airship. 5 gets you a steamship, which later they modify and make into an airship. Final Fantasy... Oh yeah, you're right. He's the... Okay, yeah, I remember now in 10. In 6, he does not provide you an airship, but he does terrible experiments on magical beings, and then grows a conscience, and then may or may not die depending upon what you do in the game. 7 is awesome. He's an airship pilot. He's a airship pilot. He's a pilot turned astronaut turned drunk. And then he becomes an astronaut again, which is awesome. 8 is a headmaster. 9 is an Oogloop. Whatever the hell an Oogloop is. It's kind of like an Oompa Loompa, but smaller. 10 flies the airship, and I think... What is it? Is it, What is the name? What is her name? The spunky girl. I think, like, she's his niece or something. And he has an annoying other person, because he's an Albed. That's how that worked. Don't remember if there's one in 11. That was better. Does help you repair your airship. That's probably true. Only 240 levels till I reach yours. I do them. I randomly do them based upon my random level picker. May as well put a link to that. But yeah, this lets you pick a random level across all the Romhack races stuff. It updates every week. Although I need to fix a couple of them. If you live to 15 universe, you probably turn yourself into a live it too. Well, it's not the same Sid. It's not like Gilgamesh where it's the same Gilgamesh. There's a key difference here. It's heavily implied that the Gilgamesh is the same Gilgamesh. Where's a banana suit? It's true. It's a raincoat. Is the backstory of Final Fantasy 1 for GBA? I didn't know that, actually. Huh? What do you do in 13? You probably walked down a hallway in 13. I played 13. I could not tell you anything about it except the horrible grinding and that Stahl was the only good character. Like, he had the most relatable backstory, which was, I want to save my son, and I am tired of all this Final Fantasy bullshit. He also had a chocobo in his afro, which made him awesome. I mean, he was awesome independently of the chocobo in his afro, but that did help. Oh, the airship. I don't think he actually had any airship flying chops, Stahl. I don't remember what Sid did. Oh. Oh, that's too slow. Oh. Hey! PB! I'm getting this. This is one of those things in Kaizo that I'm not very good at, is the releasing Y but not releasing B. It doesn't feel natural to me, and I know it's critical. My brain protests. Anyway, I'm considering making more soup, because it was fairly easy to make. It is pretty tasty. And I still have some of the other base ingredients for it, so I might make like a double batch next time. Like, basically all I'd need to do is pick up some more chicken stock. Because I think I still have enough cheese. You can assume Sid will be a mechanic or tinkerer. You can usually, but not always. Not always. Or pilot, yeah. Not always, though. You have the Sid in Final Fantasy VIII, who's a headmaster. Only an artificer? I mean, artificer's probably about the right kind of thing to describe an awful lot of Sids. Because it's usually not, like, 100% technology they're working with. Like, Sids are typically doing some sort of magic bullshit, at least a little bit. Or at least is magic type adjacent, like Mako. Pilot mechanic exists. Sid could fly that school around. I always assumed it wasn't Sid doing the flying. Like, I just assumed someone else was taking care of it. He's a headmaster. He's gonna delegate. Like, what's the point of being a headmaster of what amounts to a organization that trains mercenaries if you're going to waste all your time flying an airship around? But to be fair, I guess Brother kind of enjoyed it in X2. So what do I know? X2 was also pretty insane, the more you think about it. The gull wings dance and everything. I mean, for what it was, they were clearly, like, going for this... What the heck was I supposed to do there? Charlie's Angels kind of idea. Where you have, like, these girls are going on a mission, and it goes on and on. It wasn't a bad concept. But it was weird. Because the headmaster can do what he wants. That's true. Final Fantasy VIII. Need to give you an airship. So late in the game, Sid's already been tapped. The P-switch is still going. That's why that part makes sense. Dagnabbit. You know the gun feels so strange? Yeah, Yuna gets a gun. They all do. Riku, Yuna, and Pain all get guns, depending upon what dress sphere they're using. Which is basically the X2 form of job system. Okay. And one of the default ones... Well, no, the default, like, the one you start with is, like, this songstress sphere, which is more like idol singing kind of thing. Oh, that was a new one. But later, other jobs use things like guns, because I think, like, the Blue Mage uses guns in that game. That might be where they got the Blue Mage concept for Final Fantasy XIV. Gotta land on that. I'm far behind. Yeah, maybe one day I'll revisit one of those. But yeah, I really just need to message like 4 people on Discord to get things set up for various things and get that done. And finish the work. Actually, what I should just do is message Desi and like, hey, let's set this as a deadline to make sure I actually finish it. Because I forgot that there's like a couple things left that I need to do for Metroid. Like, I'm not doing any other implementation stuff. I just need to like make the page that shows off the characters and stuff, which I haven't done yet. But I know where the offsets are, and I can figure that out fast enough. I need to let go of that earlier. But I'd like to try and get that done before heading to the East Coast, and then I was looking at my list, and there's like 2 things that... Oh, of all of the times, do the P-Switch jump. There are a couple things in that list that I could do on the East Coast, namely Squishcraft, which is a block pusher of sorts. A very weird block pusher of sorts. And the nice thing about block pushers is if I'm playing it and it doesn't work out so well, frame rate-wise, it doesn't matter. It's a friggin' block pushing game. Like, Taiji had some frame rate problems at points, but who cares? That wasn't the point of the game. Alright, we got an urn going. That was close. I think that's the end of the section, so that's good. But anyway, as the list dwindles down a bit, I'll probably start actually thinking about what requests, oh, not again, will look like in the future if I decide to bring that back, or if I just decide next to that I'm gonna like play every King's Quest game ever, or something else insane. That would be fun, but probably very frustrating. Wow. Oh. Anyway. At least mark off one of my weirder stream ideas off the table for a little bit, because I did the SNES dev thing. Oh, it's gotta be a real quick let go, and then it's let go, regrab, let go. I wish I'd made that on that first try, or that PB try. Nope. I was prepared. H? Fool. I wasn't a fool's H. Ha! Okay, cool. Short handbrake time. Okay. What do I do first? Okay, I think I see it. I get on the rope. Yeah, that's what I do. But better. Still one of my favorite things is the TAS of Family Feud. Where basically it doesn't matter what word you type in as long as the letters of the thing you are looking for are in the same order. Which means, like, if the answer was cat, you could enter caterpillar and be fine with it. But you could also be like... what's something that has the word cat in it? Without all of the letters being together. Cow tools. Or not cow tools. This cat create. Yeah, that's a good one. It's hard to play and think about words at the same time. But yes, if you put in like the word create, it would still take that as the right answer for cat. And so basically the TAS of it just quickly punches in a lot of really dumb words to answer these questions. Like, I think the category was like professions or something. And the first one they punch in is scuba diver, but better. Which is just fantastic. Oh, that's what that is. Something I love about it continues to animate. It's way late there. I saw a TAS of Baba Is You today. That was insane. Everything moves at hyperspeed because why wouldn't it? Unless you're actively trying to crash Baba Is You. That game should never drop frames. Because the evaluation engine has to run once per turn, but like that's not a heavy burden when there's only so many blocks. I imagine there's probably some optimization instead of it just being like a pretty straight up for loop. I do know there's a little bit of weirdness and randomness in that game that is exploited in at least one of the official, well, somewhat official levels. Baba is like, yeah, I actually saw someone crashing the game by like duplicating tiles. Okay. I want to say it happened in that one level. What level is that? There's a one in the question mark area, or maybe meta, where basically it's a hedge maze. That's it. And you're not allowed to like move. You're the word is, and so you have to avoid making any implications as you're navigating this maze, which is important. So, still pretty cool. I keep landing my leg into his eyeball, and the eyeball wins. I've never seen an infinite loop triggered. Is that a thing that can actually happen? Because my understanding was that the rules apply, like, in an order to prevent that kind of thing, so you cannot end up having to go back. But sure, like, X is Y, Y is X is a form of infinite loop. And you'll keep flipping between those two definitions forever if you set up that. So if you say, like, hedge is wall, wall is hedge, then yeah, it'll keep switching between those two. Tricky but possible to have a roll that when active causes itself to become inactive. Interesting. That's a cooler version of what I was talking about. But instead of, involve word, that doesn't surprise me somehow. Word is one of those things that, when you see it in a level, it clearly indicates that something is very much up. I'm trying to do something slightly different than I was. Still too slow. I wonder if the trick here is that I want to... Yeah. Well, close. I see something about how it spawns that makes an important detail. Baba is word, and then that lines up with Baba with the text. Baba is not word, yeah. There is not word. Interesting. That's also under consideration, like trying one of the many Baba is you expansions. Not like the official ones, but like the weird mods. You can't completely resolve that, since each state forces the other state. So it just shrugs. There's a big splash because it says infinite loop. I love it. Reminds me of one of my favorite error messages of all time. Which happened, I tried to remember if it was CLPR or Miranda. But if you did something slightly wrong, it would just say, black hole, or wrong, in all caps, and would not proceed to give you any useful information to help you debug your set of assertions. Dead game state. Haven't come far in Baba Is You, cleared 3 zones. Do find it funny that when you pick it up after a long time, all of a sudden you struggle. Sudden levels you struggle with gets beaten. Well, that's good at least. I found with Baba Is You, I had to try it 3 separate times to retain enough Baba Is You to be able to continue. Like, Baba Is You is kind of like some Zachtronic games in the sense that there's important tricks you need to recall, and if you don't have them, you'll be looking at later levels and be like, what was I supposed to do here? And trying to solve again from first principles can be kind of lousy. Snyder was nice enough to give me a list of, like, here are some levels you should really review, Pat, when I got back to it after stopping for a while. Now that's a YouTube project that I've stalled out on. I keep thinking next time I'm on a plane, I'll sit down and work that one out. Okay, need to do that, not the other one. Maybe I'll do it this time, we'll see. But I still need to try out whether or not the sound-based thing I've been looking into will work for specific chapter stuff. Really should have done some chapter stuff today, because I was working on this long-running script that I had to babysit because I kept having problems. That was looking at Wikipedia data. It turns out the Wikipedia dumps have duplicate pages in them, which I don't like. I'm not really sure why. My guess is that, like, they started the dump at one point, and then the page was edited partway through the dump, because an awful lot of them are near the end of the dump, at least. That didn't help. But I'm still working through getting the format and the usable for me, for my machinations format. Because the way it is right now, basically, if I want to look up a specific article, I have to do a completely linear search over a gigantic file. So I went and put all the data that I needed to into a SQLite database, but it took like an hour. Probably be faster if I wasn't using Python for this, but I don't think it matters too much. Because SQLite is doing most of the heavy lifting. How did I do that right the first time? I have subsequently not been able to, like, get it into a position where I could do that as shell jump after the first time I got there. Like, I need to keep my momentum forward for that. That's what I was doing right before stream started, was babysitting that script, and I'm glad it finished roughly when I needed it to. That was closer. But either way, got to put down some hours. That's the real value there. I'm making some money. Do some more tomorrow. How am I supposed to do this? I need a decent amount of momentum. Am I overestimating how much height I need there? Do I actually need a wall jump? A shell jump there? Using this port some 10 years ago. Part with the sample sounds like farts so weird to you. Is this the OG song? I don't know what song this is. Or in the OG song. I really do not know what song this is, so I couldn't help you. Also, I didn't notice a part that sounds like farts. I feel like I really don't want to spawn that early. And that's like the key to the whole thing. It's just staying a little bit further... No, it still spawns right there anyway. You need to clip the jump. Also, infinite loops, while excellent, do not beat infinite recursion. Infinite recursion is so much more fun. Some of the time this song sounds like a very harsh bzzz. It is subtle. That might be why. I'm not noticing it much. Silent but deadly. Silent but deadly. Okay. That is actually one of the things I love about the 5 Days a Stranger thing, is that someone made a parody, because all of the particular things are called some number of days as something. You know, 7 days a skeptic, 6 days as 6 days a sacrifice, that was it. But someone made, as a parody, 4 minutes a fart. And it is truly one of the things of all time. Would show you the part we should pay attention, but you can't have it at Twitch. Completely fair. I mean, the best thing you probably do is just, like, take a clip and point it out there would be the easiest thing to do if you wanted to. Getting close to show that off. I feel like I need to get there sooner. I was in range to be able to do that. I was in range to be able to do that. Okay. I like that part where I keep falling into him. Anyway. If I do actually finish playing the Trilby series of games on stream, there will definitely be 4 minutes of fart immediately following 7 Days a Skeptic, because man, does it really deserve it. Like, you know, I know it's kind of a sophomoric effort. I don't really begrudge him, but like there's like 2 things in that bug me so much. One, it's called 7 Days a Skeptic. Our character isn't. Oh, what the hell? But far more important, and they named the ship the Mephistopheles. Like, that's just dumb. No one would do that. Naming a ship like something negative like that's just gonna piss off the people who have to drive it, fly it, airplane it, whatever it. But mostly, the thing that bugs me, mostly, is the bit where he says, "Alright, I'm gonna go prepare the escape pods. It'll only take a couple hours." And you're like, wait. Escape pods, couple hours. Just, it'll take a couple hours to prepare the escape pods. What's the point of the escape pods if you need to, like, plan their usage? Escape pods are for escaping. 7 Days an Ardent Believer doesn't have the same ring. I mean, it's fair. The Ardent Believer stuff is more the third-ish game's providence. But still, they're not bad for what they are. They're just what they are. Still also, since I've got it out, I need to figure out if I can get the friggin' Saturn to be working properly. It turns out that Terra Onion is really annoying about their firmware. Like, I need to go to their website and register to download new firmware. And I am confused about... should have thrown it earlier. And I'm confused about that, because I don't have an account. Like, I never did have an account. It's not how any of this worked. Because I bought it through Stone Age Gamer. But, like, I don't know why they're defending their firmware so fervently. It's a very odd thing to do in this day and age. I guess to stop Chinese pirates, but it's not like that ever stops anybody. Any of them. Brilliant. Okay. I realize I want more soup. Probably have it for breakfast tomorrow. Got a decent amount of stuff I want to do tomorrow, and we'll see if I end up accomplishing most of it. Also, I just want to take a nice walk. I haven't had a nice walk in a while. Weather's been kind of crap for it. But it's always a good walk to D&D. I think I might shake it up and take a different route. There's some stuff I want to do that would be easier to do on a different route. Maybe. I haven't decided yet still. See, at least when my sprites cross and I fail the shell jump, I feel like at least I've still accomplished something. As opposed to dying on one of the earlier obstacles. See? That's way better. When you die by your own hand, that's okay. Get back up. Lounging. Turbo lounging. Also, I guess in terms of things I really should do sooner than later is finish the moderation of, hey, yeah, what's going on? The Romhack. I should ask Donut if he knows where that rainbow thing is from. I guess I just look it up on SMW Central, like the rainbow background that they were using. The games, whatever it was using. Oh yeah, in terms of really old projects I should finish editing Who Stole Hanukkah. Completely forgot about that. I learned so much about Hanukkah, and what a disappointing holiday it is. I'd also like dreidel. I just thought dreidel was like kids playing with tops, because playing with tops is kind of fun. Like, you know, Beyblade or what have you. Turns out it's a type of gambling, but it also is a type of gambling that sucks. There's no, like, interesting choices. It's kind of like a slot machine in a way. The rules, I think there's like one decision you can make, and it's whether or not you put 0 or 1 coins back in the pot after a certain thing happens. But that's it. Because I always thought Hanukkah was like a really important holiday, but like it's not a very important holiday for Judaism in general. Just happens to have proximity to Christmas, and therefore helps with the whole not being left out thing. Yom Kippur, it just sounded so made up. Said Seymour Skinner. Closer. What am I doing? It's not in the port originally, it isn't a part of your imagination. Some fucker going with sample because of bad music. Originally, it isn't a product of your imagination because you heard it happen in the level. You think some fucker's going with the sample because of bad music. Could it be the death sound? It sounds a bit like a fart. No, that's a standard wrong sound from SMW. You wouldn't mistake that for a fart. Just wanted to go into space. Okay, I was close. That Koopa has got such a death toll. My finger's starting to hurt. Basically, for Kaizo, I just need to remember to relax my thumb and not push so hard, because, like, it's not like it matters. This isn't the, like, original Street Fighter where pushing harder actually mattered. I guess that's the question. Should I go to Costco or make soup? Going to Costco would help with the making of additional soup. Oops. Okay. I will listen to it now. Let me mute this side of things so I can actually hear it. Costco is filled with delicious food, that's the problem. I've listened to this 4 times now. I cannot identify what you have identified in here as a fart. I feel silly now. What kind of soup? Cheesy potato soup. I'd forgotten how easy the prep for it actually was. As with a lot of things, it was mostly waiting around for stuff to happen. I didn't even watch it that carefully. I should have watched a little more carefully because I think I overcooked my potatoes a little bit. But second day, they were still fine. You've never had that form of soup? You have been missing out. It's a delicious form of soup. It's got cheese, it's got potatoes, some bacon usually, other aromatics. Listen to them back to back? Okay. It was one of my favorite things to order at like a restaurant a long time ago. But now, like, cheesy potato soup is hard to find. Like, it's just not something that people do, I guess. It's somewhat similar to, like, Vichyssoise, where, like, it's a potato and milk kind of soup with some stock. But less fancy because, like, you put bacon in it because you're an American. And as we all know, Vichyssoise is best enjoyed with a fork. Assuming your education wasn't free. It's all in the wrist. Dang it. In fact, if I hadn't done anything, if I just hold right there, I would have been fine. I was trying to do a regrab and it was unnecessary. Getting better. Bacon often makes things better. Doesn't always, but often. Yeah, I went with the Alton Brown method of cooking the bacon for it, which was the first step I took, and I don't think that was a smart move because it made things more difficult down the line. Plenty of time to cook bacon while the soup is, like, chilling. Well, the soup isn't chilling, the soup is stewing. Simmering. Basically, you start it in a cold oven and put it on racks. And when you do this, you get a lot of fat out of the bacon. Like, I went and grabbed a jar to get the bacon grease, because I was like, bacon grease sounds kind of nice for cooking up my egg I have in the fridge, which I need to cook up and eat at some point. But it filled up a 2-ounce jar of it with it. Like, I get a lot of bacon grease out of it. Close. Okay, at least I think I figured out how to do most of that part. Got to the point where I'm getting most of this consistently. Most of it. Something happens to the sample, it gets slightly dissonant. Huh. Sounding like the most awkward chord ever. I wonder if there is actually a most awkward chord ever. There was a bit... I saw one of those comedy sketches about Rachmaninoff, where this Asian dude is trying to play a Rachmaninoff piece. And the joke essentially is that Rachmaninoff had gigantic fucking hands, and he does not. And so he has to... Oh, hey, we're in someplace new. So he basically has someone help him play it. That was a mistake. Helps him play it by basically handing him these, like, jigs that he would press into the piano. It's actually pretty funny. Well, next time I see Orka Bin, I'll be sure to let him know that he messed up here with the audio. Haven't seen him online in a hot minute. But thanks to GST's shift over, because it's happened in both USA and Australia, I did see Dirk online for the first time in forever. Though I think he also started early. I also finished up pretty dang late. Or did I? Yeah, yesterday like 4-ish, yeah. But I should find some time to go to Costco and just acquire food for the next little bit, because, like, I still have more than 2 weeks before, or slightly around 2 weeks before I have. Miss Orka stream? Yeah. I mean, it happens. Life changes. Things change. It's not Orca? That's the port? Ah, okay. I assumed you were saying that Orca had done something that messed up the port. Then you tried to use it and also... Ah, okay. I misunderstood. Alright, well then, blame whoever made the port. I still don't know what song this is. Suppose I could find out by looking at the link you gave me. Oh, it is Ninja Warriors. Or is a ninja game. Give me a handbrake. It's always weird to me. They can't seem to, like, I assume it's possible to do, like, a direct port. No, I guess probably not, because some games have less sound effects than others. Like, basically taking that Kevin M. Well, we'll probably find out at the end of this, because I'm pretty sure there's only one song in this level. So if I get to the end, and there'll probably be credits, because it's an Orca Bin level. This is the nature of it. Oh, too slow. That was way too slow. Ishiswa's fork. It's all in the wrist. And for Sir, I recommend the crab. Open it with this ladle. If you don't do it right, it's poisonous. You're not allowed to swap. I want to see the manager. How could I possibly introduce you to the manager? You're not wearing a tie and you hold your ladle like a pen. You need to make changes? Okay. That's something I've always kind of wondered, because, like, it's an SNES game, it's the same APU. In theory, it should be possible to just, like, straight up take a track from one game and shove it in the other. But then there's the whole sound effects thing. So, yeah. If you were willing to forego the sound effects. Which... is an issue. Too late. Too late, too late! Too late, too late! Way too late. Maybe a good thing to do on Sunday. Go to Costco. Rather make ports of stuff that isn't NES. Some the mistakes and sloppiness are more justified. Can get ad music version jank. Yeah. It could also be possible. We can always blame ad music whenever we want to. Very possible for some later version. Like, this is a moderately old Romhack Races level. It was, what, 113? They're up to 360 and change, so, like, it's been, what, 5 or 6 years? Like, let's see, 52 weeks in a month, in a year. Yeah, a little more than 4 years. Or, yeah, a little more than 4 years. Add 200 gets us not quite there. Oh no, maybe 5 years, yeah. Good luck playing Raid Class, Mark. Thanks. How you doing, Milgrips? That was close. That wasn't. I cannot get this shell jump and the subsequent shell jump into consistency. Everything else, at least tolerable levels of consistency. But I'm kind of hoping that there's just not that much level after that. But we'll see. Work, had an online shouting match in a meeting why a ticket is not ready. Oof. Microsoft used to be legendary for its meetings around ship time. Microsoft just had to angry cut you off. Okay, that's actually pretty funny. They had to change the name from the rather more appropriate War Team to Ship Room. Hold up. I'm glad I trusted it. Go! Okay. Where? Room 3. Oh boy. That's probably fine. Well, the good news is this can't be that long of a section, because at the speed we're moving... Oh, I probably needed to hop on that twice. Also, new music. Suddenly rave music. Do, 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 do. Well, we're getting somewhere. I'm not sure where. Need to remember to spin jump. Thanks for the H's. And raving. It does remind me, there's actually one thing... Oh man, maybe I'll do that sometime this week. Something's been on my list for forever is a first position. I was thinking, like, I kind of want to play a boomer shooter. And I have Cyclones. And Cyclones previously, I couldn't get the audio to work. Because I'm pretty sure that the way Cyclones worked from, you know, knowing how it works, is it pulls the music off of the CD, and I didn't have a CD cable before, and now I do. So, might be worth checking that out. Christ. I'm only saying that because the level creator didn't Frankenstein hidden level transitions in. Fair point. Doesn't seem like Orka's style to me. I talk about this a lot when talking about like puzzle games, but there's a certain amount of like trust you have to have in how oh, that's a short bounce. Okay. In how like the puzzle's going to work. If they're going to follow conventions, is it going to make sense at the end? Are they going to make mistakes? And if they do, are those mistakes part of the puzzle? And I have a decent amount of faith in Orka Bin as, like, a Kaizo person. To do things that make sense and aren't really trolly. Sure, we can be out of character. Happens. But, like, I have a very high amount of trust. Based upon having played, you know, some number of his levels. There might be an end of level troll. That needs to be a regrab. CD talks made you come back to chat. Mentioning that to instill fear and creativity in other creators. Oh, tell me about that one. Yeah, basically old school computers, you had to get a better jump than that. Because CD-ROM bandwidth was kind of valuable, like all of the buses, ISA bus and other things were kind of slow and limited. You didn't want to have to tie those up when you wanted to listen to a CD. And so what you did is you'd have this CD cable that goes directly from the CD-ROM drive to the sound card and bypasses all of the operating system and everything else, and it would play tracks directly from it. So you'd just be able to still keep yourself plugged into the wave out jack on your sound card. CD-ROM drives also came with headphone jacks in the front, so you could also add controls for it on the front. So you didn't even have to use the OS at all to control the CD player if you didn't want to, which is kind of cool. But an awful lot of games in that era would use CD quality sound, a la like the PlayStation, just by reading tracks off of the disc, or just really communicating to the disc, hey, could you play track 4? Could you play track 5? Loop track 4. Again, that kind of thing. It was a good call. Like, you got CD quality audio in an era where, like, you'd otherwise be doing MIDIs or tying up a lot of time doing your own wavetable synthesis stuff. And the reason for this, of course, being is that, like, compressed music did exist, but it wasn't very good yet. Yes! I read the second half of that level like a book. Or second half of that section like a book. Anyway, CD-ROM cables. Those existed. Testers, Electronic Logic, Atari 2.0, Amethyst Rocks, and P. Miller. Music, Kevin M., Siamese Twins, and Rick Block 36-9. Rope by Amelia. There we go. We did it. That was worth doing. Whee! Yeah, really fun level. Very vanilla, but very, very rope heavy. My fingers kind of hurt. Like I said, I did not expect Orka to, like, throw on another whole section after that. That section was supposed to be like a victory lap, I think. And it kind of was, you know? Like, aside from that saw bit, and getting the intro right, there wasn't a lot in there that was actually that difficult as long as you were paying attention to what was signaled very quickly. And that was fun. That was actually really fun. Anyway. Oh, this isn't a side exit. Alright. I guess we're stuck here forever.